All right, everyone. Welcome inside the Virtual Media Center here at the CME Group Tour Championship. I am pleased to be joined by Patty Tavatanakit. For anyone on the Zoom call, if you have any questions, please let us know in the chat function so we know to unmute you and then call on you. And everyone else in the room here, questions can be asked by the mics in the back. But Patty, welcome to your first CME Group Tour Championship. What does it mean to you to be able to make your way into this event after the season you've had?
It's always been the goal for, I feel like most of the players out here to make it to this event. It means that you definitely keep your card and get a chance to play and win $1.5 million, which is, pretty big for women's golf.
Women's golf in general, and then also for yourself. What does it mean to you in the achievements that you've had this past year to be able to wrap it up at an event like this?
It would mean a lot for me to win this week, but at the same time, I feel like, I've been kind of beat up into emotionally just, trying to be in contention, try to close it out, just kind of keep not succeeding in that after ANA. But I'm just looking forward to count down, each round and then off season. So I don't want to put myself in a stressful situation where I just, I have to make putts or I have to do certain things. It's the last event of the day, and I just want to enjoy it as much as I can.
What are some of your first impressions of Tiburon?
They're grainy, for sure. I feel like we've been playing out north and kind of west side a lot. We've been having a lot of bent grass, and it's just a true Florida Bermuda, which I practice, at Iworth, but just playing in competition mode, we haven't really had this, and it is different, and I feel like I need to make a little adjustment around the greens.
What are those kind of adjustments that you've made in kind of your practice and lead up to this week?
Hitting different shots. I really haven't been, anxious going into events. I did really well last week, just being really chill for the whole week and not really, put myself in the situation where I'm just draw a box, or I just want to be chill and just kind of keep it light out there.
Now that we are at a season-ending event, does ANA still feel kind of forever ago, or is it still fresh in your mind after what you were able to achieve?
A little bit. I feel like I had that break where I had to pull out from Dow and couldn't go play Evian, and then ever since then I just feel like my scoring hasn't been there, and that momentum, I lost that a little bit after ANA and then Asia, and then that stretch where I did really well. But it's a long season. There's golf is just up and down. There's ebb and flows to it, and just gotta accept and just keep looking ahead of where you can improve and do better.
You were tied for second for most top tens this past season. You're coming off of a strong performance last week at Pelican. What did you learn about your game that you're excited about moving into this week?
I've actually talked to my caddy a lot about how we think we overachieved, but realistically speaking, we feel like we haven't had a week where everything is has come together. It's either ball striking's great, putting's not there, or putting's great, ball striking's not there. It's just kind of on and off. But it's a good sign that I'm able to have high finishes in not my A game. It's good to know that I have that ability.
All right, Steve, I know you have a couple.
Just a few of the Patty stats here. 10 top 10s, win the Chevron Championship, T5 KPMG, T7 AIG, 7th in rounds under par, Rolex Rookie of the Year, 7th in average driving distance, finished T6 last week. Is there a time when you're not chill?
I would say, yeah, before that, if you want to talk about the whole season, you got to talk about Lake Nona, Ocala, Kia. Those three events are just me building up to becoming that point. If you ask me, am I ever not chill, then I would say yes, because golf is a stressful game, and you go out there, you're not trying to make mistakes, and it is stressful, but when you can do things repeatedly, it takes stress out of play. And so I was pretty chill last week, but no, I was not chill at A&A or Kia, where I missed a cut and then had to find another caddy. And U.S. Open, I was not chill. There's a lot going on. There's weeks like that, so.
It's unusual for someone to reach this level so early because of all of the things other than the golf. Have you found that you were distracted at all throughout the year by the travel and the new courses and how do I get a car and that sort of stuff?
I wouldn't say it's a distraction. When you look into traveling, I mean, like at this point, I come to events on Tuesdays. I give up trying to like over prepare or use all my energy and then lose it all on Sunday or at the weekends, and just kind of focus on keeping it fresh and keeping my motivation going throughout the week, because I really like being home. And I mean, you know, I was in Tampa last week. I drove home, stayed there for 2 days, and just come here yesterday morning and play a practice round. And then, you know, just I keep it light, keep it easy, because I learned over the time less is more. That's what my coach Grant Waite would say too.
We can hear you. No, it's okay.
You've talked, I've noticed in a couple of weeks about trying to stay chill, not get wrapped up in results. And I'm curious how you balance trying not to get wrapped up in results with determination to win. It sounds like sometimes you don't care if you win or you don't. I know you don't
Yeah.
but it sounds that way sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I like to keep it that way, because at the end of the day, like, if I were to tell you, like, I want to win this, and if I don't, then it's like I fail. I don't want to set myself up to failure. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I win, great. If I don't, I have a great finish. That's just a better way to think and make yourself happy. Weeks after weeks, if you think like you're going to go win and you just keep not winning, that's just a lot of, like, you're not going to feel good about yourself. So just a way, perspective.
So when you go back to the stress you mentioned at A&A, was that the stress of almost feeling an expectation that you were supposed to win because of the position you were in?
I think I really did blacked out that week. Like, everything was just going so well, and with, you know, I wasn't distracted. I was really focused for the whole week, and I honestly didn't really feel like myself. I mean, I felt like I was like kind of empty and dead on the inside, which, I mean, for golf sometimes you need that, but that's just not really who I am. I don't know. You guys could see for the whole week I didn't really have that liveliness in me, and that's just not who I am. And for some reason, I played well in that situation. And, you know, there's something you have to manage on and off the course, and there are stuff going on that you just gotta shut it out and just keep focusing on what's in front of you.
Have you ever wondered if there was a correlation between being empty and playing well? Or was it
Oh, for sure. That's why I want to keep it more chill. You know, that's just kind of the balance that I'm still searching. This is only my second year on tour, and I'm still searching, and it's my first time really being kind of like a top player that everyone's kind of paying attention each week, and it's not the easiest thing to manage all that, but I feel like I'm doing a good job.
Sarah?
You are doing a very good job. You know, you talked a little bit about this only being your second year on tour. I don't think a lot of people realize that you were one of the rookies that got a second shot at it. How much did that second opportunity at a rookie year mean to you and mean to your career with everything that you've accomplished?
I'm thankful for it, you know. I mean, if you look back and would have wrapped up the rookie results last year, it wouldn't have been me at all. That was like my learning year, and I'm just grateful that, I mean, it sounds funny, but I'm thankful that we had that pandemic year for this to happen. But that just sounds selfish, I guess. But yeah, last year was a big learning year, and especially with the pandemic going on, new protocols, a lot of things, testing and all that stuff to do every week. You have to get to events on Sunday almost, and it's just kind of like dragging, and I feel like I didn't really do well off the course mentally, and just kind of drag it on, and I didn't like it, honestly. But this year, when, you know, we adjust and kind of go back to the new norm of the tour being, okay, you have to get testing, you have to do that, you have to follow protocols of not eating. I love Uber Eats now, and I just don't want to go outside as much. So you just get adjusted to things, and I think that's really big to be a professional golfer and travel every week.
What's something that you've learned about yourself over the course of, we'll say 2020 and 2021? What's the biggest thing that you feel like you've learned about yourself?
I feel like I've learned a lot, as more as a player. Because when I'm on the course, I want to focus to be a better player every time I'm on the course. From last week, from yesterday, from the front 9 or from the last 9, just always focus on what's ahead of me. And, I learned that you don't really have to be perfect to play well, and you don't have to be perfect out here to play the golf that you want to play and to be who you are. I think that's the most important thing, because if you try to be someone else, like, it just gets tiring and it gets really frustrating.
Oh, I know one more. Do you have another one?
I did, but I don't want to interrupt you. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. One of my questions that I have is, not only is this your first season-ending event here on the LPGA Tour, tomorrow will be your first Rolex Awards. Being able to nab some of these pretty prestigious awards, to clinch them before the season even ends, what does that mean to you in the way that you rate the way that this season has gone?
Like I've said in many interviews, that I feel like I've overachieved a lot this year. I mean, yes, I really wanted to be Rookie of the Year. It's the same way I go into college freshman year, and I wanted to get that Freshman of the Year award, because you have one shot to get it. And if you get it, it's kind of like, okay, no one else could get it in your class. And it's a really nice feeling to be able to close both of them. And, I only get 2 years to get both of them, and I got both of them. So I feel like I'm pretty lucky on that. But at the same time, I feel like the execution needs to be there, and it's just an amazing feeling. And yeah, I'm really thankful that I'm able to do that.
Just 2 more, Patty, if you don't mind.
Do you mind, Doug, if it's okay using the microphone only so our transcriptionist can pick it up?
I just like it audible. Let me go back.
Is that okay?
Thanks, Jeff. There we go. God, this is great. Having gone through kind of a normalish year, one that wasn't interrupted, I know we lost some events in Asia and what have you learned anything in these 2 years in terms of how you're going to go about setting a schedule for next year? Places you liked, places you didn't, that kind of thing?
Yes, for sure. I feel like I've been doing that ever since my win, honestly. I remember when going into A&A, I was like, hey, if I play well here, I don't want to go to Hawaii, because that's like so far. I live in Orlando now, so that's like 10 hours flight. And it's 6 hours time difference. And then we got to come back to LA, and then Asia. That's like 4 weeks straight of not being home and being in different time zones. So, and then I won A&A, so I was like, okay, out. Hawaii's out. And then went to LA, still, missed the cut, flew home to see my coach. That's how much I love being home. And scheduling wise, yes, I haven't played much this year. No, and next year probably going to be the same. Max is probably 3 weeks straight. 4 is like my max. I did the 4-week stretch, ended at Founders, and I was exhausted. I mean, literally after that, I went home. I was not doing good for 2 weeks. Physically too. When you're on the road, you can't really get stronger. It's all you do. It's maintaining. And for me to swing my best, I have to be kind of fit, strong. So it literally took me 2 weeks to get my body back to where it is when I swing my greatest. And I feel great. This is my 2nd week, and I'm just driving, and my body feels great.
And you have nothing next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
No.
Just to be sure on that.
Yeah.
The other thing, Patty, about your, how would you describe your temper on the golf course?
It gets pretty mellow for the most part, and then when it gets fiery, it's just like, okay, that's passion for me, because I need that to play well. If I'm just flat and just kind of whatever, I don't like that. I feel like there's no passion, because I want to keep it interesting to myself too. Just kind of it's a challenge. If you it's like you're playing games almost. And I'm addicted to adrenaline, especially. So there's a lot of ups and downs. I just got to learn how to manage it.
Okay, you mentioned the word passion, which is good. I meant more emotion than temper because the game will drive you crazy.
Yeah,
I was just
that's
curious
what I
if
meant,
getting
yeah.
like, when it does drive you nuts, when you three-putt or miss or whatever,
Yeah.
and you get angry, if you found that, does that channel in your favor or go the other direction?
It's not aggression for me because for me it's just a way of letting it out. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can do better than that. Like, come on, Patty, something like that. It's just not like, I don't want to be down. I don't want to be flat. Like, just that fiery. I need that to play well.
Do we have any good club throwing stories as a kid?
Oh, plenty, yeah.
Good.
When I was young, I was very, very up and down. My emotions on the course. Always been like that. I feel like my personality is kind of like that, really up and down. Very bubbly too, lively, but at the same time could be, just straight down. You can ask my my college coaches for some great stories. They probably have a bunch.
Thank you.
Hey, Patty. I'm good, Doug. I got one. Sorry. I know it's been a few years, but just want to talk about Q Series. And this year there's 7 current college players that are going to be teeing it up in a couple weeks in Alabama. What do you remember from those 2 weeks and having to wrestle with kind of that decision on what you were going to do?
Do you want my honest answer?
I mean, as a
Or do you want it
opposed
to look good, sound good for
I mean,
everyone?
I love honesty. Honesty is better than the opposite, which is
I don't know where this is
dishonesty.
going.
Well, I thought it was the longest 2 weeks of my life, and I was in the middle of midterms and stuff too, so I was not having it, and it was raining, it was cold, it was depressing. So yes, I hated it, and obviously I didn't make it to top 45 to get my card, and at that point I was like, yeah, I'm going back to school. I'm not doing this anytime soon. Until things changed, I feel like those 2 weeks are just tough. Q schools are just tough. I've had friends who are going through first and second and now going to third, and they're just so stressed. It's just 1 week, and that will kind of justify where you are in your career for the year. And it is really stressful, and I don't really like it at all. But at the same time, I got lucky again because I was top 5 in the golf week ranking for college, and then I got into Q Series not knowing I have Symetra status until March of the following year.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's tough to leave your team? Or what's the toughest part about it?
It is tougher. Well, I leave on a good term because I finish out the year and played Symetra half the year. Yeah. But for people who leave the team in the middle of the season, I have nothing against them, but it's a decision making. Do you choose your career or do you want to finish out college and help your team? It's just kind of, golf is an individual sport where you kind of have to base on what you want to do in life, and you can't really just choose over that. But it is really tough. We had, I don't know if I should say this, but my second year, my last year at college, we didn't really have a good season, after Lilia left. Mm-hmm. And please don't put this on.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
And lastly, on the men's side of the college game, they have something called PGA Tour University now, where your performance in college kind of gets you that status as soon as you graduate. But it's only for seniors. You have to finish out your degree. Do you think that could be something that could help the women's college game so that you guys don't have to go to Q Series middle of the year? You can.
I would have to not really agree on that because I feel like I went through Symetra and it was the best experience as a pro, prepping for LPGA. If you go straight from college and come to LPGA, that's a really big change for me. I feel like traveling round after round and just the whole, like the whole thing, as you mentioned, the distraction and everything. It's a lot for someone who just comes straight out of college and do this. I really think that if, girls coming up to this tour played more on Smetra or just go through that for the whole year, I think we will have a better tour. We would have better product into the tour and just way more quality players and actually knows how to be a pro.
Awesome. Thanks, Patty.
So my question, what are you most looking forward to doing in the off season?
Nothing. Nothing really. I love doing nothing. I love just doing nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Will you put down the clubs like right away?
No, I actually like golf. Like I itch sometimes when I'm just like, oh, I want to be out there, but I kind of go out there for like 2 hours just to keep things fresh and then come home. Yeah. I don't like over practice. I just kind of keep things very like minimal.
Is it practice, or do you play golf for fun sometimes? I know
For fun sometimes, yeah. I literally just goof around and not even care what I'm doing. Just goof around in tough conditions. And at Iowa during winter, it gets really tough. So we have a really good prep for coming into the year.
Okay. So what kind of food or drink that you could not have during the season that you want most?
Can you repeat that, please?
So what kind of food or drink that you could not have during the season?
Food or drink? Oh, food or drink?
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah, I need good coffee.
Okay. So we move on to the next. So what kind of TV show? So what TV show are you most excited to watch?
I really like Grey's Anatomy, but it's really long, so I'm just kind of watching, like killing time on the road, so I watch that. Yeah, I love Grey's Anatomy.
Okay. So who are you most excited to see?
In the off season? I don't know. Cause I was gonna say my boyfriend, but we like literally see each other all the time.
Okay. So next, the last question. If you were going to compete in the Winter Olympic sport, what would you choose? Or you are excited about watching?
Ooh, I would just watch.
As an Olympian, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. I grew up in Thailand, so winter sport for me is like very, very new. It's very like far out of my reach. I don't know. Skiing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Patty. Yep, that's all. Yep.
I think that will wrap it for us here. Thank you, Patty, for joining us.